Today's Country, 95.3 KDKD.
Welcome to the Mike Keith Insurance Clinton Cardinal Football pregame show. I'm Clay Radford. Joining me on tonight's pregame show is Clinton head coach Kevin Lefevre. Coach, welcome to the pregame.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
Hey, always, Coach, and thank you so much for talking with us after the game last week. Getting a post-game recap with you is good. We can, of course, share it right here afterwards and let everybody know kind of your thoughts on how that night was. And, of course, we played again on Monday morning, too, so people know where your head is after the game. And it was we're going to go ahead and jump into this past Friday night's football game against the California Pintos. The game was really good. You guys showed a lot of heart. That's one thing for sure. And I know you talked about in that with the team in the post game. You had one individual that was really striving and really played with his heart. But I thought the whole team did as well.
Yeah, we definitely had some bright spots, especially late. The way we see it, it just kind of got out of hand, and we had two big momentum plays right out the gate, and I think it kind of put us in shock. Week one, we didn't get to play a jamboree, so we scrimmaged against ourselves, which is the best we can do. And they blocked us right there on that first possession, essentially put it in, from like the 5-yard line.
Right.
And then just kind of a bad play on our part, more of a mental mistake. Nobody did something wrong, but just a mental mistake. We were there and we didn't cover the punt, and they picked it up, ran it back on our second possession. So right there, ended up later we threw a pick six. So they had 21 of their 61 points where it didn't even happen against our defense. So you take those off the board, you're looking at 40-21, something like that, and you're in more of a competitive ball game. Not to mention what that does to your players' morale.
Right.
I mean, you're 3 minutes into the game, we're down 14-0, and our defense hadn't stepped on the field. That's not necessarily what we're looking for.
And the heat, it was extremely hot. The heat indexes was into the 100 degrees right around kickoff time at 7 o'clock last Friday night as well. So I know those kids on both sides of the ball were fighting heat as well, and that has something to do with it. If you think about it, you can get only conditioned so much, but the heat does come into effect.
Oh, definitely, I agree. And and I'm not making excuses for anyone, because every high school has the same rules across the board, but we're so picky, we being Misha, or just the rules, we're so picky on limiting how much time you have, so we've cut it down to 14 practices. You have to have 14 practices before your first game.
Right.
And a lot of people, 6 of those are without pads. You don't have your full pads on. So a lot of people know it takes more than 14 days to get used to the heat like that.
Yeah.
So and I understand we have build up and we have those rules for safety, and that's great, but I'm sure you'll hear a lot of guys back in the day when I played,
Right.
It was 2-a-days for a month, and we started in July, and so.
And you just work all through July with pads,
right,
the real dead heat of the summer.
And that was not my experience, but
right.
I was kind of in between. We did still have 2-a-days back then, but. So it's tough on the players because they got to get adjusted quick, and like we had talked about, we had kind of struggled that week with the heat anyway, and our adjustment to it as a team individually. So, definitely I'm sure that played a role in it. And,
oh yeah.
And our kids didn't complain at all during the game about it, but you can tell they're cramping up a little bit, or we were pretty exhausted. So we had a lot of kids getting water and things like that we wouldn't have to do as much usually.
Now, the second half, the team looked like they started to come alive. You started getting some completions, some long yards on the ground as well, and put the ball in the end zone a couple of times, and some really great plays from that. You might have been playing against their JV because they were so far ahead, but you can build off that and have something ready to go for this week as well, and it instills confidence in them as well.
Sure, and it should. I mean, we started to move the ball there anyway, even on their varsity.
Right.
We had a couple of bad things happen. They installed a drive out, but we were starting to put things together, and again, it's all a new system. So, they went with their JV there, and we have a travel squad, so we didn't have quite as many. Their JV's a solid team. We've seen them again Monday, but we put some things together. We hit some big passes, and some kids started making plays, and our quarterback Logan Spear did a great job. Found Jace King on a corner route that he kind of broke into the end zone, and then Jace Olson broke a run and a little dump pass, both for touchdowns. So we did some positive things there, and we just got to build off of that each week.
The Jaces just really dominated there in the second half. It was really great to see, along with quarterback Spear as well. Well, Clinton comes into tonight's game with an 0-1 record, taking on the Odessa Bulldogs with their record of 1-0. What can you tell us about Odessa? We know they're state champions, but what are you guys preparing for? What are you guys looking at this past week on tape?
Yeah, we see a fast and physical football team. They're the defending state champs, and the way we see it, they're the champs, so they're not the champs no more.
Right.
So they did graduate 19 players, so it's an all-new team.
Oh, wow.
Most of their guys are going both ways, starting both ways. When you scout them, you'll see the same numbers. So, it'll be a completely different team. They're still very good. It's Odessa. And so we still expect a tough game. But they're not the same team that they were last year. Whether they're better or worse, that's yet to be determined. But taking nothing away from those new kids, but it is a different team. So we're excited. You know what Odessa's going to bring. They're going to be physical. They're going to be fast. I don't want to say they're too much out of the box. They're pretty traditional. This is what we're good at. This is what we're going to do, and you stop us.
Right.
So, we think we got a good scout on them, and we'll have to go out and see how our kids play. I just hope we rise to the challenge and don't let just the stigma of Odessa get to us.
Right. And part of that's mental. You have to get over that mental hurdle to get you to that next level of, hey, we're confident in ourselves and our game. We're going to have to execute what we've been practicing all week long.
Oh, that's exactly right. And, that goes back to our week 1 game with California. You go down 14-0 in 3 minutes without your defense stepping on the field, and mentally you're like, oh, here we go again,
Right.
And then after our kids settled in for a half and got to doing things, and they calmed down and started making plays. So the same thing this week. We can't go in with that, but, it's there, and so hopefully we can get that out of them.
Well, Coach, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break and hear from Mike Keith Insurance, and we'll be back with more right after this.
One phone call is all it takes to reach your personal insurance professionals at the Mike Keith Insurance Agency. With 5 experienced agents ready to provide coverage on auto, home, and other personal insurance coverages, you'll get the quote you need faster at a more competitive rate. Why? Because the agents at Mike Keith Insurance can shop from a variety of insurance companies, like Auto Owners Insurance, on your behalf. They work for you to put together the most affordable and comprehensive coverage for the things you value most. See the team of professionals at Mike Keith Insurance, your local Auto Owners Insurance agent on the north side of the downtown Clinton Square.
Back on the Mike Keith Insurance Clinton Cardinals pregame show with Coach Kevin Lefevre. What do we need to know about the Cardinals heading into tonight's game, such as injuries, illnesses, and things like that?
Yeah, no illnesses, which is a great thing. Injuries, we got one linebacker banged up a little bit, Tate McQueen, kind of got banged up, and it's going to happen. We got some guys with some dings, but nothing big, nothing that's season-ending or anything like that.
Just some things to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, just some things to keep an eye on, ice it, that kind of thing. We've had a physical week, and that's what we're trying to instill some toughness here. So, we did tackling drills for an hour yesterday.
Wow.
So, in the heat and tackling and hitting, and we're going. We're trying to improve on that and not only improve tackling, but also be tougher. So, it's going to happen. You're going to get some guys dinged up, and they know that, and they're going hard, and unfortunately, it does happen, but they're doing a good job at playing through what they can, and again, our training staff's excellent. So, we've had a lot of help there too.
Well, I'm very excited to see what Clinton brings to the field tonight. As of course, we're streaming the game live tonight on mykdk.com. Not everyone can come to tonight's game because of tickets. Only each player was issued 2 tickets. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, each player was issued 2 tickets. So, Once in a while, if they don't have enough, then they are free to give them, or if their parents are not going, they are free to give them to someone else. That's their call, not ours as a school or a staff. So ask that player if you're looking for those. But, 2 tickets per player, and I believe that's the same for the cheerleaders as well.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach, Clinton is getting ready to take on Odessa Bulldogs. Any final comments before tonight's game?
I just want to thank everybody again for coming out last week and supporting us, and hopefully we can make the travel and trip over to Odessa and watch us there. But we're excited to come back home here in a couple of weeks and see everybody again, and thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, thank you so much for coming out. And that's Clinton Cardinals head football coach Kevin Lefevre on the Mike Keith Insurance pregame show. You can hear the Cardinals football game coming up right here on 95.3 KDKD. You can also see the game online at mykdkd.com. Now let's go on down to the field with Spencer Edwards and Doug Neff.
Obviously yet this year, because they do not have 19 guys from last year's team, because they had all those guys graduate. And as you said, they were 15-0, ran the table, and nobody really got close to them. I mean, they were just a dominant football team and well-deserving state champs. They beat Cassville as well in that state title game. So it's a new-look Odessa team, and as we talked about last week, it's a new-look Clinton team, because you've got all these young kids that Clinton has on their roster as well, new head football coach. So new, I think, is the story again here tonight on both sides for these teams.
Absolutely, and speaking about new, it is the new conference season opener right here as the Missouri River Valley West Conference, and it is the Odessa Bulldogs, the first conference foe for the Clinton Cardinals, and man, a tough bite to take.
Yeah, they're thinking whoever made that schedule, of course, gee, thanks. You gave us our first conference game in our new conference against the defending Class 4 state champs. So that's just the way it shakes out, though, sometimes. And you got to come out here and play the games. Of course, we saw Odessa last year, even though they weren't in Clinton's conference, but we saw them up here in districts, and then they played, of course, Clinton last year down at Clinton in the regular season. So still pretty familiar with them, and they played them, of course, over the last few years. But now you're conference foes, and I think the important thing tonight, Doug, is Clinton just got to come out, put, again, another step forward. We saw those positive things at the end of last week's game. You were able to get 20 points up on the board. It was a tough start, so I think tonight the key is, can you start better than you did last week? And that's just what you got to do. Each week, try to get off to a better start, get some points early, and that'll take some of the pressure off.
We'd like to see that second half Clinton Cardinals that we had last week to start the first half this week, and they did a tremendous job. They found some things that work. Hopefully they got to work on those in practice over the week, and we're going to see them here tonight. But it is a different Odessa Bulldog team. 19 seniors left from the last year's state championship, and so we're going to see a totally different Odessa Bulldog team.
Absolutely, and you said it exactly right there. The key is, I think, you get off to a good start tonight. If you're Clinton, we saw good things from Jace Olson in that second half. We talked about him quite a bit. He had a couple of touchdowns there, and then Spear ended up throwing for, I think we talked to Coach Lefevre before the game, he ended up with around 170 yards. So he ended up actually throwing the ball a lot better in that fourth quarter, and that's exactly what you wanted to see. But I think the important thing is you got to be ready to go early, because this Odessa team, they start fast, and there are teams that get on you early, and that's what makes it so hard to claw your way back. So I really like the fact, too, and folks may have heard Coach Lefevre mention that in the pregame show, they were physical this week in practice.
Yes.
They did some hitting. It was hot, but they went ahead and got physical, and I think that's going to be a key tonight for the Clinton line. They've got to be more physical up front, but because we saw some protection issues last week with Spear in the pocket. He didn't have a lot of time to throw, so that's key tonight for Clinton's line. I think that's one thing tonight that Coach Lefevre and his staff are going to be looking for some improvement on, is that protection up front.
Well, and we talk about Spear and the quarterback for the Clinton Cardinals. This is a young man who was not brought up here in Clinton. He was raised in Arkansas. He's not used to having worked with these teammates from the 8th, 9th, 10th grade up. And so this is a young man who getting used to everything. First time in football action against another team. That was last week with California. So he is doing a good job. Again, hopefully we're going to see that second half Clinton Cardinals.
And that's right, because it's all about timing. When you're new and you haven't played with these kids, you just got to get that timing in order, and that just takes time during practice. It takes time during games, and that's where you get those ironed out, and really you want to see it tonight, but it may take, a couple more weeks even. You get to week 4, week 5, and that timing gets a little sharper, and you don't have as many drop passes or throws that are maybe a little bit behind the receivers. I think we saw a few of those last week where he was just off by just a little bit, but we know he's got a good arm. He's got good capability. It's just a matter of that timing.
And don't forget, folks, of course, it is pregame. We're getting ready for kickoff hit for the Mike Keith Insurance Agency pregame show. This is Clinton Cardinal Football on 95.3 KDKD FM, Clinton, Missouri, and a live video stream on mykdkd.com. So check it all out. As Clay Radford up here on the video with us in the booth, and, of course, Spencer and I on the call. It's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it. Once again, I'd like to say hi to my grandsons out there, Hunter and Aiden. I know they're listening. And Hunter's even a football player, so he's getting into that group. It's kickoff time. Kick is deep for the Bulldogs. Going to the upman. That is the 4. That is Abernathy. Abernathy with the ball comes across the 25 to about the 26 before he is brought down. Oh, check that. Ernie Neal as J.P. Abernathy actually out for the game.
Yeah, we actually talked to Coach Lefevre and said that J.P. a little dinged up, so unfortunately he won't be able to play. But I don't think they think that's going to be a long-term thing. I think he could be back possibly next week.
Flag on the play. Spencer, it was a block in the back against the Cardinals on the return. So they're going to start 1st and 10, but a little deeper than what they thought. From the 10-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10, Clinton Cardinals. And they are going left to right as we are on the radio dial here. So it is the Cardinals in the huddle. They break the huddle and bring it up. It's going to be Spear. The quarterback brings his team up. He's going to set up in the shotgun. One man in the backfield with him. Twin receivers, both sides, as they look in. Takes the snap, hands off. That is going to be Olsen. Olsen with the ball. Comes across the 10, gets to about the 12, where he is brought down by the Bulldogs.
That's what we saw last year, Doug, from this Odessa team, that great sideline-to-sideline speed defensively, and they surged in quicker there as well on the right side of the line on that first play. But it was interesting talking to Coach Lefevre before the game, because he said really what we want to do is we want to spread them out, but we want to run the ball. So they're going to set up in these passing-style formations, the 3 and 4 wide receivers, but they really want to get Olsen involved running the ball is their main goal.
Spear in the shotgun once again. He takes the snap. He's got the rush. He can feel it now. Breaks out. Here he comes. He's got the ball across. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. He was going to be thrown for a big loss, Spencer, but he got himself out and got back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down, call it 8.
Yeah, he sure was. That was very, very
7.
close to being a sack, but he did a great job of it, at least bouncing off that first defender and found some positive yards out of it. So 3rd and about 8 here, looks like from the 12.
It is going to be the Cardinals deep in their own territory, about the 13-yard line. Spear once again the shotgun, empty back set. This time he looks down, almost picked off. Didn't see the man coming across for the Bulldogs, intended for the 15 of Jace King.
Yeah, just a little bit behind Jace that time. It was a pretty good route. I like the design of the route over the middle there, but just a little behind him, and that allowed the Odessa kid to have a shot at the pick. So Clinton at least very fortunate not to have the pick there, but now it's very important. You got to have a good punt to try to give your defense a little breathing room here.
Set to kick will be Brent Gray. Gray, the 8, sophomore, looks down, kicks the ball, got a good kick away from the soccer program, they said. He is going to be down at about the 27-yard line. A high kick but not a very deep kick.
Yeah, not very deep at all. It was about 15 yards, so certainly would have liked to have tried to get that out around midfield. So Odessa's going to have good field position here for their first series. And that was kind of the thing last week, Doug, for Clinton, is their defense was just starting so deep in California territory. The Pintos had such short fields to work with, and kind of the same thing here on this first series where you're already dealing with an Odessa team that's pretty high-powered on offense. They scored 30 last week against Southern Boone in the win.
1st and 10, pass deep, touchdown, Brent Jeffrey. Looking to see who it was for the Bulldogs, but it's a touchdown to the corner.
Yeah, trying to get the number, too, Doug, on the far side is kind of tough to see with the shade, but that was a very, very well-designed play, but really Clinton no help on the backside. I mean, he was running down the field pretty much wide open, and Jeffrey actually almost overthrew that ball. He almost put too much on it, even though he was so wide open, but still a good catch.
Great job by the young quarterback, and the field goal is good. 7-0, 10-20 left to go in this first quarter. It is the Odessa Bulldogs striking first, 7-0 in favor. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to high school football action on KDKD.
Buying insurance isn't something insurance agents.
My ear.
Welcome back to Odessa High School, as it is the Odessa Bulldogs striking first, 7-0 in favor of the defending state 3A champions. They are going to set to kick as we have sun in the eyes this time. Kick is up, kick is good, going to the 4 of Ernie Neal. Once again, Neal with the ball now. He is leveled. He is leveled. They called it down. Look, they thought he coughed up the ball but did not. Called him on the ground before he let go of that. It is going to be 1st and 10 for the Clinton Cardinals. This time, though, they're not going to be backed up all the way to their end zone this time.
Yeah, a little more space, but, you'd like to try to get those returns over the 20, about the 25 if you can. But this will be an important series here for Clinton to try to get some forward momentum. You had a couple near misses there on some pass plays on the first series, and we'll see what they want to go with. Looks like couple backs this time in the backfield.
1st and 10 from the 17. Spear takes the snap. He hands off to the first man through. That's Jace Olson. Olson looking for room. Not much there as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1. It is going to be Olson comes up with 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Cardinals as they operate from their 18-yard line.
Good play there by the Houston Egan, the left defensive end for Odessa. Was able to seal his man on the inside, make that last tackle.
Spear in the shotgun, 2 men in the backfield with him. He hands off this time to the 2 of Caleb Russell. Russell, who could not turn the corner on the far end and was brought down, looking to see where they're going to spot that ball at. It looks like about a 1-yard loss for Russell.
And that was the thing last week, Doug. Clinton did have a tough time handling the defensive ends for California, and I think that's important tonight. If you try to contain those guys, one way to slow them down is you could try to run more to the outside as opposed to coming back to the end and make those D-ends chase a little bit, and that's what they tried to do there.
It is 3rd down. Spear takes the snap. Rush coming this way, and just short as it was heading for the 19 of Peyton Sales. Could not make the contact. Going to bring up 4th down for the Clinton Cardinals. Cardinals with a rough 2 3-and-out downs to start the game.
Yeah, they tried to get the running game more involved there. We saw more runs on that series than we did the first time. and just couldn't pop one through. And Odessa had some good team tackling as well. So here you just want to try to get a good punt off. Last one was 15 yards. You need at least 20, 30 yards on it if possible. It's a little better.
Looked like one of the Odessa Bulldogs actually got a hand on that.
Yeah, I think so.
And got up, but better kick. This time it's going to be 41-yard line that Odessa's going to be starting in Clinton Cardinal territory.
And we mentioned, Doug, at the top how Odessa's lost 19 guys, but they also returned 8.
Yes.
So it shows you how big, for one, their team is. But Mark Thomas, the head coach over here, is just one of those guys that's turned this program around. And a lot of times you see that, a lot of these programs that are hitting their stride, they've got 60, 70 kids on the roster, and everybody wants to play football for sure. So they've got a lot of depth on this team this year.
It is the running back. Takes the ball. He comes to the near side, into the end zone. Touchdown, number 22.
30.
That is,
32, I think, actually.
32?
Yep.
Blake Heitman.
Yep. And I remember him from last year, too, as well. He was one of their key running backs, and, boy, he had a big hole there.
Well, not only that, but I think he put a little height and a little bit of muscle on.
Yes, sir, I do as well. Good second-level speed, though. Once he got past those linebackers, it was off to the races.
Now the 22 up to kick is good. That is Carson Bergman.
2 plays, 2 touchdowns, so they have not wasted any time.
It looks like the state defending champions all over again. And, we talked about returning and graduated, and you're right, they graduated 19, but they've got 8 returning seniors, but their junior class is incredible.
Right. Yeah, a lot of coaches would love to be able to have 8 guys back. I mean, if you lose 19, you're thinking, gosh, we're just depleted. But, you get 8 guys back, and then, like you said, you've got a big junior class, and it just, boy, it helps out with depth.
Well, we get the opportunity, like thanks to our great sponsors, helping us to bring Clinton Cardinal High School football action right here on 95.3 KDKD, Oak Star Bank. Glad to have them along. Doing a great job, Oak Star Bank, Integrity Floors, and Hawthorne Bank, Doty Legacy Group. Greg Smith, Ford, Lincoln Mercury, Atkins Printing, and Lincoln Community Care Center. Troby's, Maytag Home Appliance, Heartland Hospice, Truman Lake Manor, Mike Keith Insurance, and Bank Motors, and our new sponsor, Golden Valley Medical Hospital. Glad to have them along for the 2020 season that is Clinton Cardinal High School football action. All right, looks like we're going to try this one more time. Kicking it off. And again, it is the 4 of Ernie Neal. Chased out of bounds. Looks like they're going to spot it about the 17-yard line for the Cardinals. And let's see if the Cardinals can, figure out this tough Bulldog defense.
Yeah, still looking for the first down. They've come close here, but we'll see if they can get some passes over the middle. They're going to go with 3 wide this time and going with the 2-back look again.
It is Spear in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands off second man through. That is the 2 of Caleb Russell. Russell ahead for about a yard. Where he is brought down by
talking
for the to about the 20-yard line. So good. With the ball, brings it up across the 20 to about the 22, 23-yard line. It's going to be the best field position I believe the Cardinals have had yet this quarter.
Yeah, and that time they did have King back there to return that kick. I'm not sure why he wasn't back earlier, but because we saw him have some returns last week that were decent. So you are able to get a little bit better return, but you're just going to have to prove that you can move the ball. I mean, you're still looking for that first down, so you just got to, again, one play at a time. The goal right now has got to be a first down right here.
It is 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Ball about the 23-yard line.
There's a blitz.
Spear looks back. Good catch by King as he goes up and gets the ball, brings it down. Going to be a short gain of about 2, so it's going to be second down, call it 8 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, a great catch there by King. He knew he was going to take a pop, and he did. But, boy, he did a great job of hanging on to the football. That time they sent a little delay corner blitz from the far side. And it was a pretty good job by Spear throwing the ball to the opposite side of the blitz and getting that ball out pretty quick. So you did have the completion and picked up a couple.
It is Spear once again
Another
in
ball.
the shotgun. He doesn't have time. He gets across. Olsen now with the ball. Olsen with the catch, brings it across and into about the 28-yard line before he is brought down by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that time they had the little screen set up over the middle, and that, I think, as time goes on, is going to be an effective play to Jace because he's got the ability to catch the ball in space and something with it. But that time, that
Spear in the backfield. Trip receivers to the near side. He finds one of them. That is a 13 of Bulky. Excuse me.
Three plays in a row, but they're just doing a good job tackling. I mean, they tackled the screen play, the play before that one, and then just now Sanders wrapped up perfectly. Great open field tackle. So they're going to go for this, looks like, Doug, on 4th and 6.
Spear with the ball. He's got open field. He looks downfield, goes up. It's a catch. The 19 with the ball. No laundry on the field. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. That is the 19 of the freshman. Makes the catch.
Yes, how about that? The freshman going up and pulling that down. And I was afraid at first, Doug, they maybe were going to call offensive pass interference because I think Sales might have shoved just a hair there. But, yeah, we won't say nothing, but that was just a great catch, though, and still a pretty good pass nonetheless.
1st and 10 in Odessa territory, 35-yard line, hands off. Olsen, 35, gets down to about the 31, for he is brought down there by the 25 for Odessa, or 28 for Odessa. That is Luke Crimmin.
But, boy, if there was ever a shot in an arm that you needed there for Clinton, that was it. I mean, and I think, you know, Coach Lefebvre felt like, look, we don't want to punt again. Let's just go ahead and go, take a shot, and they're able to hit the play. So
great call by the coach. It is Spear, once again, the shotgun, one man in the backfield with him. Low snap. Olsen picks up the block. Pass intended, this time for the 28 of freshman Cameron Mertz, but incomplete.
Yeah, Crimmin had a beat on that ball that time for Odessa, the safety on the right side, and it was nearly picked. So fortunately, he couldn't corral it. So you got another opportunity. Looking at 3rd and 7, looks like here.
3rd and 7, ball on the 32-yard line. Got to get to about the 25 for the first down. It is Spear once again. One man in the backfield with him. That is Olsen back there for defense. Oh, Odessa moves. They did not cross the line.
Yeah.
So they did not get the penalty.
Yeah, they're allowed to get back there. I know it looks bad to the fan, but they have the, you know, if they break the play and then come back, they are not crossed before the snap is made, I should say. That's still a legal play, so that's the right call there. Good job by Coach Lefebvre not hurrying, just going ahead and taking a timeout on that, you know, and regrouping here. You want to take advantage of this situation after the big pass play. And, you know, that's something where you put Odessa back a little bit because you've got them out of that blitz. See, they haven't blitzed the last couple plays. They've just gone back to that 3-man front. They're playing soft coverage a little bit in the secondary. So that might open up some windows here on some seams over the middle. And also watch for Olsen. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe go back with a screen here, possibly, or try to get Olsen off tackle here in the running game as well. Looks like they're actually going to put him out wide right, though, this time and go empty.
Well, trips to the left side, twins to the right. And it is an empty backfield for the 5 of Spears. He stands in the shotgun this time. Snap is away. Here comes Odessa. Oh, it's tipped. Oh, it almost looked like he almost had that, but not quite. as it just hit the ground, intended for the 15. That is Jace King.
Yeah, that was almost a great catch there by Jace. He almost caught it off that tip and just couldn't quite get it all the way in that time. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and go for this again on 4th and a long 7.
4th and 7. Here comes the Cardinals. It is Spear, Logan Spear, the junior quarterback in the shotgun. The 3 of Jace Olson in the backfield with him as they come twins both sides. This time, passes away. It is complete.
Well, that's going to be close, Doug.
Depends on the spot this time, Spencer.
Yes, sir. Very close. And, well, I don't know. From here, yep, they just gave it to him. I thought he was going to be maybe about a half a yard short, but, boy, that's a great route. Went right to the stick. And a perfect throw by Spear. I mean, that's the timing we were talking about at the top of the broadcast. You want that timing route. That's all got to be boom, boom. And that was right there on a line, right at the stick.
Right on that corner.
Yes.
1st and 10, Clinton Cardinals. Deep in Odessa territory at the 25. Look back shotgun. This time, Jace Olson takes the ball across the 25 to about the 22 before he is brought down by Odessa.
And now you see here, you've got a little rhythm going. You know, that's the thing. When you get a couple plays of positive yards, you string that together, you get what's called rhythm. And offenses, you know, can kind of function better off of that. And that's what you see now. Clinton doing a good job of kind of getting a little groove going. You got a little timing here. So this is an opportunity to put the ball in the end zone.
Gain of 2 on that last play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Cardinals. Spear once again, the shotgun. He takes the snap. Olson with the ball. Olson across the 20. This time about the 20-yard line. It's going to bring him 3rd down, but 5 and manageable for the Cardinals.
Exactly. And this is a spot where you have options. You know, you get in that 3rd and 5 spot. You feel like you can run or throw. The pass, if you go that way, doesn't have to be too deep. And I think Olson now is kind of finding a little bit of a seam. You get the feeling he's just maybe 1 or 2 missed tackles away from breaking it. And this will be an interesting call here from Coach LeFevre.
Well, he has shown he's not scared to go in that 4th down.
Yes.
If they don't make it, we could see it again. In the shotgun, takes the snap. Here comes the rush. Fell short, intended for the 28 of Cameron Mertz, the freshman. Incomplete, going to be 4th down and 5 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, very, very close, and I think that pressure, they backed off the blitz the last few plays, but they said, well, we're coming again this time, and I think Spear saw that, and he hurried that throw. That's what just threw that off. He just had to get rid of it a lot quicker than he wanted to, and just a good job by Odessa dialing up the pressure from that outside. They sent a little weak side blitz with 2 guys, and now they're going to make Clinton go for this again, looks like.
Mertz a little confused as where he goes. Twin receivers to the left, trips to the right. It's a shotgun. Takes the snap. Almost intercepted. Just tipped by Odessa. I believe it's a 28. But it was intended for the 3 of Jace Olson.
Yeah, just a tough break because he had Jace out there, but the ball was thrown to the outside. And I think when I first saw that play develop, I said, boy, if he could just go inside, he probably would have completed that pass. But because it was to the outside, that allowed that defender to get that paw up and knock it down. So Odessa's defense just bending there, not breaking. But that was honestly a really good drive by Clinton. I mean,
yes.
they put several plays together. They got in a rhythm. That was really the first consistent drive that we've seen now after 1 week of football. I know Coach LeFevre a little frustrated. He wanted to turn that into points, but they at least got positive yards.
It is handed off to the fullback. It is off to the races across the 50, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Odessa. It is the 14 for the Odessa Bulldogs. That is Sean Batter, the junior running back.
And I don't know that a hand was on him either, Doug. Boy, he just got through there. And as you said,
Absolutely.
Takes a lot of people to make that mortgage work.
Right.
And I think that's what your hometown bank can do for you, because we're here to help them.
Well, and you just hit the nail on the head, Andy. It's the hometown bank.
Call Andy. He'll help you finance your dream home with a mortgage from Hawthorne Bank. NMLS MLO number 450138. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back to Odessa, Missouri, as it is the Odessa Bulldogs and the Clinton Cardinals in Missouri River Valley Conference. A squib kick across the center, down this time by 72 for the Cardinals. That is Tyler Lawson.
Looks like we got a flag down, Doug. I think they may re-kick this here.
I think
not sure.
Clinton, I think I'd have just said, I'll take it right here.
We'll see. I'm not sure what the penalty was there.
Offside.
Oh, offside. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they ever gave a signal, but that's what it would have had to have been, because I was going to say, the kick didn't go out of bounds, so offside on the kick. And I knew they probably didn't intentionally squib it, so we got it straightened out here.
We're going to try it one more time.
That's right.
Here they come. Kick is deep, is long. It's going to go to Jace King. King with the 20 at 25, brings it across. Gets almost just short of the 30-yard line, for he is brought down by the Bulldogs. For Odessa, that is Gavin Gross. Oh. So.
Their PA guy, I think, said Crimmin. He's been everywhere. So I'd say if you're guessing on tackle, you just say, well, Crimmin, because he's made so many of them, and on special teams and on the defense too. So.
Well, there's two Crimmins. So
okay, yeah. So the odds are
in our favor.
In his favor, yes, sir. Yep.
It is 1st and 10, under a minute left to play in this first quarter for the Cardinals. Cardinals on the 29-yard line. In the shotgun setup is Spear. Spear takes the snap, low snap, looks downfield, finds a man, can't make it to Jace King, as he was well defended by two Odessa defenders.
Batter, the initial defender, just making a nice play on the ball, and that's the second time we've seen some of the Odessa defenders just swat that ball down. Ball's maybe been just a little bit late. They get that paw out, and good technique back there at the corner position.
Need to put a little arch on that.
Yes.
And go behind.
And was able to get solid 5 on the play, so we'll see if they can get a play off here before the end of the first quarter.
Just short of the 5-yard line. I think they're going to.
Looks like they're just. Is that not a long first quarter? Boy, with all the scoring, that it seems hard to believe we're just now out of the first quarter.
First quarter is over. Your score, Odessa and the Bulldogs, the defending state champions, 28, and the Clinton Cardinals, 0. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. Your list of high school football action on KDKD.
When you hit that critical time of life, considering what will happen with your estate when you're not here, we have more than 30 years of experience helping others make those decisions. When we say call us, the key word is legacy. It's all about taking care of you and getting it to the next generation the best way possible. Call us at 660-885-8835.
We just got in a 2017 F-150, that maroon one there, ruby red to be exact. Crew cab Lariat 4-wheel drive. It's got 50,000 miles on it. We sold it brand new to a lady right up here at Blairstown, Missouri, and she come back and got another one just like it.
back to Odessa, Missouri. It is the Clinton Cardinals in high school football action right here. And, folks, don't forget we're videoing on mykdkd.com if you want to watch the action. And for the call, I'm going to hand it over to Spencer Edwards.
Well, thank you, Doug, as we get a flag right out of the gate here on this first play of the second quarter with Clinton trailing at 28-0. They had a good drive, though. Not last series, but the series before that, as this penalty is going to be on call offsides. 5 yards to the 40. And that will give him the first as well. So it's a 3rd and 5, but won't need to run a play after that penalty, so we'll take that.
Coach Lefevre planned it that way, I'm sure.
He will be happy with that for sure. But, yeah, we saw a good drive from the Cardinals there, the second to last drive in the first quarter. Stalled out though around the 20-yard line, but they actually completed a couple deep passes on that drive. Actually converted a 4th down and long. So here they are, 1st and 10 from the 40 to start the second. Spear out of the gun, hands to Olson, and he's going nowhere. Right at the line of scrimmage, is bottled up. I think they're going to give him the original line of scrimmage, which is the 40.
Yeah, no gain on that. He had nowhere to go, and they threw him backwards. Didn't know for sure. I'm like you didn't know for sure if he made it or not, but he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But tough going. Man, that middle of it.
We do have a flag down. It's going to be a loss, but we'll see what the flag is. Maybe a face mask here. Over on the far side. And it's going to be going against...
Declined.
They give that on Clinton there. So it is declined. Holding is the call. So back to the 38. For CHS. Cardinals will be back on the road next week. They will be back in the friendly confines of Holden, Missouri. It's
Matt Bulkey.
Is that Bulkey? Yes, Bulkey. Matt Bulkey, the senior, wrestles that ball away, Doug Neff, from the defender, Brett Duncan.
And what a great play. It was 30 to the 30, 60 yards.
60-yard play. Wow. And again, they complete on a deep play on 4th down. So the second time that Spear has completed that pass, but what a job by Bulkey. Just the effort to wrestle that ball away.
40 yards on that. I stand corrected.
Wilson, and he's going to be stacked up maybe a yard on that play. And that's just one of those, Doug, where you're one-on-one and you just got to go up, and it's just all about want to there, boy. And that's where you put all those days in the weight room. You know, get in the weight room, and that helps you out on a play like that.
I think the words were, I don't think so, Tim. Jace Olson going right to the center of that line and gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd down, call it 9 for the Cardinals.
Olson in the backfield again here with Spear. So second time Cardinals have had the football here in fairly deep Odessa territory. Olsen going to get the call, running right this time, off right tackle and bottled up. They just haven't been able to pop one through the middle there, Doug. That deep line, as you mentioned earlier, has been just very stout, and they're doing it with basically a three-man front, so they're not having to load up the box at all.
Yeah, and a delayed handoff that time to Olsen, and the defender was already in, and they let him have that ball, and off he went, and a nice gain, a gain of about, I'll call it 3.
In front, empty backfield. Spear has the snap, back to throw, trying to step up in the pocket, gets away from one defender, rolls right, and then throws it behind King. Boy, he did a good job of getting away from the pressure, Doug, but just couldn't fit it into King, who was open, but just threw it behind him.
Nice thing, we were talking earlier before the broadcast, with Spear being as big as he is, he's hard to bring back. And, you know, he could have almost taken off and run with that ball and maybe made a little bit of a gain up for the first down.
Yeah, very close to having that decision point of whether to run or throw, but that's the second time we've seen him get away from some pressure. So Cardinals going to attempt their first field goal of the year here.
9.
And on to kick is going to be Bloom, and angling it left, kick is away, and he is going to miss it wide left. So what was that spotted, Doug? I didn't see the spot. About a 30, is that about a 30-yarder?
30. He on the 34.
It was 34, wasn't it? Yeah.
So a 44-yard
44.
kick.
Yeah.
He had the distance.
He did. Yeah, just yanked it left just a little bit. So, again, another promising drive stalls out for the Cardinals in Odessa territory after a big completion on a 4th down and 12. A huge catch from Bulkey, but the Odessa defense able to come up with the stop again. Again, bending but not breaking, and they're hanging on to their shutout at 28-0. 8:37 to play here in first half. I think we're going to talk to Jason Abner. Doug will have him at halftime, the athletic director at Clinton High School, coming up at the half. As they're going to hand off here and look out. This will be better again. Breaks free. There he goes. 40 to midfield and dragging a defender with him all the way to the Clinton 40. A huge gain. Actually, is that Heitman there? That's not bad. To be able to run him down. He got drugged for maybe 3 or 4 yards, but it paid off. He at least got him to the ground. So big chunk play again, and boy, that's been the story of the night for the Bulldogs. They have ripped off some big gains. They're pushing over 200 yards of total offense already here in the ball game. 1st and 10 at the Clinton 40. They fake the zone read, roll out left side, pass is knocked down. That's a great play by Bulkey to knock that down.
Been calling his name a lot here. The senior.
Yeah, Matt made that great catch earlier and then makes a fine defensive play there. And didn't bite on the fake. That was the important thing. Stayed to the outside. And Jeffrey, I think, didn't see him at first and threw that ball a little late. So 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. 7:59 to go before halftime. Odessa with 3 scores and a touchdown off of a block punt. They fake the zone read. Deep over the middle. Got a man wide open. Ball is caught down at the 10 and then walking into the end zone for the touchdown. That is number 29, Caleb Kremen. Down there wide open. I didn't know, Doug, if that ball was going to get to him at first. He just floated it up there. But, again, backside defense got lost for Clinton in a wide open score.
And not only that, but tremendous pressure put on by the Cardinals as the quarterback just had time to release that ball because he had a defender right there in his face.
Right, and that's what caused him to float it a little bit and actually just barely got off. Extra point is on the way, and it is good. So Odessa strikes again. Bulldogs add to the lead 35-0 with 7:52 to go in half number 1. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Back with the kick after this on KDKD.
Atkins Printing would like the opportunity to enhance your business with their printing expertise. Atkins Printing is ready to take on all your printing projects, from letterhead and business cards to envelopes and flyers. If you can put it on paper, Atkins Printing can do it. Bring your next job to Atkins Printing, your new partner in business printing. Just give them a call at 885-5509. Atkins Printing, proud sponsors of Clinton Cardinal Sports.
During times like these, people are facing hardships in their day-to-day lives. It has become difficult for seniors to get the attention and care they need at home. At Lincoln Care Center, where caring and kindness matter. 660-547-3322.
Spencer Edwards and Doug Neff back with you here from Odessa High School. Early September. Push back to about the 18. Hopefully our roof isn't coming down on us, Doug.
I heard thunder.
Yeah, I did too. The middle. I mean, it's just been that red wall all the way through, and Clinton has gotten very close. They've moved the ball several times, though. Had a couple good drives that have stalled out around the Odessa 20. We'll see what they can do here. Plenty of time before the half, as they've got four wide. Olsen leaks out of the backfield. They go to him out in the right flat. Nice catch, turns it up 20 to the 27 on the run before he's brought down. Nice play there. I really like Olsen, Doug, when he comes out of the backfield like that. Gives him some space.
And, he catches the ball well. It's got soft hands, and he gets over to the other side and gives them definitely manageable with second down and 3 for the first down.
That is exactly the kind of play you want on that first down and puts you in a second and short situation. So Olsen having a solid game so far. He's had some tough runs up the middle. He just hasn't broken the big one yet, but he's caught a couple passes out of the backfield as well. Twins in the backfield. They're going to go back to Jace running left, trying to angle, and he's not going to be able to turn the corner as they string him out about the 25.5.
He's close to first down.
Very close, though. Good pursuit on that play.
And that was all Will. As Jace just decided, okay, I went vertical, but, you know, I went horizontal. Now we're going vertical.
Kremet on the tackle. Caleb Kremet having a huge first half. For Odessa, double figures with 10 tackles already. So 6:30 to go before the half. Cardinals trying to keep the drive alive, facing a third down and a yard from their own 29, ball on the left hash. Four wide receivers set. Olsen in the backfield with Spear. He's got the snap. Going to go quarterback draw up the middle, and I don't know. Did he get this? Going to depend on that spot. He's got it.
They got him into the 30-yard line.
I think he needs that 30, and he is appeared to be spotted on the 30.
Yep.
And there it is. Yep, first down. So Logan Spear willing that. Yep.
That's the advantage of a tall quarterback.
That's right. Big body, Logan 6'5", and together kid, and just pounded his way in behind the center.
I think in the second half we're going to find a uniform for Clay and send him down there.
New set of downs. That's a big first down for Clinton. You at least keep this drive alive, get an opportunity to maybe get some points here before the half. Four wide receiver set again, pistol set, handoff. Olsen running right, trying to angle around the corner, but has brought down minimal gain on the play. Has maybe the 31 on that.
You know, they found a misdirection in there. In his heavy pursuit by the Odessa Bulldogs, Jace took the handoff, then turned around and ran the other way and made them come after him.
Give Jace a yard on that one, so 3rd and 9 coming up for the Cardinals. 5:17 to go left here in the first half.
2nd and 9.
Second down, and give him a hard-fought yard. For a moment. Tight end here is kind of split wide to the right side of the line, kind of in the slot. They'll go 3 wide to that side, 1 to the left. Pass out in the flat right side, caught by Bulkey up at about the 32, so short gain on the play, but they brought him down inbounds, so Clinton, I think, is going to use a timeout here. Or did they spot him out of bounds here? Oh, we got a penalty. So face mask is the call on whom?
I believe the Cardinals.
Well, that'll be a killer penalty there for sure. Officials over talking with Coach Thomas on the sideline for Odessa about this penalty. Have not seen a lot of penalties in this game, though. It's been a pretty clean game on both sides in terms of penalties. Now face mask on CHS, so that's going to bring them all the way back. That's a 15-yarder, Doug, so that's a costly one back to about the 12.
Start at
From the
12,
spot of the foul. Yeah.
Get to the 40.
Yeah, that's a spot foul, so that's that is a tough one. So that backs you up a sizable distance here.
Still second down.
Still second, and actually they put it at the 13. Again, with 4 wides. His guy. Possibly over the middle. Odessa probably going to play back on coverage, put 6 or 7 guys deep, and probably won't bring any pressure up front, although they are. Possibly a hold here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess hold against the Cardinals.
Yep, I believe you are correct. Oh, no, chop block. Block below the waist, it appears, on Clinton. Don't see that call very often.
I actually saw that one as they were coming in.
Okay. So now Coach Lefevre is going to have to punt this one. I don't think he feels comfortable going for it on 4th and about 30, so they will go ahead and punt, even though they've converted on a couple of 4th downs here in this first half.
Again, it's way back.
So, but the key is now Odessa's got plenty of time. They've got all their timeouts for them to punch. I don't know that they're state caliber this year, but they may make some noise in the playoffs. They're probably not quite as explosive, but still a team that you're exactly right. Probably going to be able to win this conference and win 8 or 9 ball games and go into the playoffs with a full head of steam again.
Well, they've got a lot of returning players in both juniors and seniors, and that definitely helps them this year.
First, they start in Clinton territory at the 38. as off the zone read, quarterback keeper left side for Jeffrey. And minimal gain on the play. Good job there by Clinton wrapping up.
The 20 on.
Now we got a whistle. Looks like Olson's going to have to come off the field. Not sure if we got an equipment issue there or not, but they are going to sub somebody in for him. That is Owen Dittmer. And, boy, you know, Coach Lefebvre doesn't want to have Olson off the field. Looks like he may actually have an injury. So the trainer going to go down and take a look at him. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe he has a jammed finger. I think he was kind of shaking his finger there maybe. So here we are. Fake. And pass from Jeffrey, caught at the 5, slipping the tackle and into the end zone for the touchdown. And is at 38. Can't get the number here from this distance. Maybe 38 or 28. One of the tight ends, I know that. They earned that big time. And also listening here on KDKD as well.
Stop into Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center to discover a world of possibilities in one oven with the new KitchenAid Smart Oven Plus. It brings together a collection of oven-powered grill, baking stone, and steamer attachments with connected cooking to tap your full culinary potential. Come into Troby's Maytag today to learn how the KitchenAid Smart Oven Plus
Call 660-679-4300. With Heartland Hospice, opportunities abound, including helping with office support tasks, keeps you involved in your communities. Call the office in Butler today for more information. 660-679-4300.
Welcome back to Odessa High School here tonight.
on 2 plays. Didn't take long for him to strike first. Yet tonight, but have moved the football a little bit, and now just looking for some points. They were shut out in the first half last week. Here's a deep ball. Nice catch. Was he in bounds, though? And he was. What a pass as well from Spear, and that's a great grab by Jace King.
Yep, King to the 48-yard line, and a diving catch as he must have just got a foot or a toe inbounds.
They sure did. Boy, very close to being out of bounds, but, man, that's a great catch by King. And that's what you want to see right there. That will get you some chunk yards in a hurry. So gain of about 16, first and 10 for Clinton out to the 48. Ball on the left hash. Plenty of time here to get some points. 2:25 left. All their timeouts remaining as well. Spear back to pass. Fires it out in the flat right side. Pass is caught by Bulkey, but a flag is down in the backfield. 2 flags, actually.
I'm going to guess holding.
Yeah, the penalties have crept up on Clinton here a little bit in the second quarter. They've had a couple face masks, couple holds. We'll see what this one is. It is a hold on CHS. So that'll back him up and negate what was a positive play there to Bulkey. But, boy, Doug, we've seen Bulkey and King really kind of emerge in the second quarter a little bit, catching the football. I mean, they've been able to throw the football, and that's accounted for most of their yards tonight in terms of first downs and total offensive yardage.
You know, we were talking before the game, they have got to open up this passing game. I think they can find seams in that secondary against the Odessa Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are seeming to let some areas open, and is open, so they really need to open up this passing game, and I think your running game will come in after.
After the penalty, it'll be first down at 24. Line of scrimmage back to the Clinton 32 for the Cardinals. Bunch set on the left side with 3 receivers, 1 to the right, and here comes the blitz. They're going to bring a couple up the middle. Spear airs it out deep right side, and it's overthrown as he was looking for King on that deep post. And just too much on it, but there, Doug, he just felt that blitz. He could see those guys coming in. They sit 3. And hurried it a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely. He's seen that coming and knew he had to get rid of that ball with a 2nd and 24 for the Cardinals. He's got a long way to go, and taking a sack will not work.
1:50 to go before halftime. And it'll be second down and a long 26 back at the 32. Spear calls it out, has the snap, back to pass, a little over the middle, shallow cross, it caught up at the 35 by King, and they wrestle him down out of bounds.
32 on the stop for Odessa. That is Blake Heitman.
Yeah, good play by Heitman, taking away the middle. Cardinals going to hurry to the line. Clock keeps rolling because he was taken down inbounds here. So 3rd and 21 for Clinton from their own 32. Punt from the 32. Clock is going to tick down here close to a minute. See if they get the snap before it gets to a minute. They do. Boy, they brought some pressure and almost blocked that one again as the punt is away. Oh, but a nice roll as it's going to get a nice big Clinton hop across midfield all the way to the 43-yard line of Odessa before they down it there. So that was the best punt of the night for Bloom, I should say. And Dylan Bloom has punted in some tough spots tonight too, Doug. I mean, he's been facing that end zone all night, and to his credit, has been able to get a few of them off after that one was blocked in the first half. Of course, we saw him pick one up off the ground and punt it away earlier.
He had a bunch of friends coming to meet him, too, back there. But they were all in red
yes,
uniforms.
Sir. So right at a minute left here before the half. Odessa out to the big lead here, 42-0. They take over 1st and 10 at their own 44. Back to throw. Jeffrey going to roll out to his right. He was looking downfield. Now just scampers away. Flag flies as he cuts across midfield, takes it to the Clinton 44. But this may be coming back.
Whole bunch of flags.
Yeah, we have seen several penalties on both sides now here in the second quarter. It's kind of...
Yep. It's going against Odessa holding.
Clean, and they're going to bring this back on the hold. And for a deep shot there, he was ready to load up, but good job by the Clinton secondary taking the deep ball away, and now Odessa's going to take a timeout, it looks like. Seen any team timeouts as of yet, so that'll stop it with 51.8. Doug will tell you about our sponsors here.
While we got the opportunity, we'd like to thank some people, but don't forget Jason Ebner and the activities director, the busiest man in Clinton High School. That is Jason Ebner. Will be here at halftime for the halftime show. And some great sponsors, including Upstart Bank, Integrity Floors, Hawthorne Bank, Doty Legacy Group, the Greg Smith Ford, Lincoln Mercury. Go check them out if you need service, sales, or parts. That is Greg Smith Ford, Lincoln Mercury. How about Atkins Printing? Glad to have them along. Lincoln Community Care Center and Troby Maytag Home Appliance, Heartland Hospice, Truman Lake Manor, of course, our new sponsor, Golden Valley Medical Hospital, all with the 2020 season that is Clinton Cardinal High School football.
Out of the timeout, 51.8 left. Odessa facing a first down at 16 after the holding penalty. Line of scrimmage back at their own 38. But you got to be aware here if you're Clinton. You don't want to give up the deep shot because Odessa may take a few here before the half. Jeffrey looking short middle left side, and it's incomplete. In out of the hands of the intended receiver, the 29 of Caleb Crimmon. So falls to the ground incomplete, but he was out there open. Couldn't reel it in. So second down and 16 for Odessa.
Second down, a long way to go, 16.
They've got plenty of time here, too, still with the 2 timeouts in their pocket. Heitman in the backfield. And they'll spread it out. Tight end close to the line on the left side. 2 wide left, 1 wide right. Here comes some pressure from Clinton. They bring 2, and they're going to get the sack on Jeffrey all the way back at the 29. So excellent job dialing up the blitz, and Clinton gets their first sack of the year right there.
Jace Olson back on the field. Looked like he was one of them that led the charge to get the quarterback.
Great play by Jace, using that speed on defense. And that is a big, big play because Odessa, they were wanting to take another shot deep down the field, and the clock's just going to keep rolling.
In need of attentive care, come see us at Lincoln Community Care Center, where caring and kindness matter. 660-547-3322.
And welcome back to Odessa High School. It's halftime here. It is the Clinton Cardinals and the Odessa Bulldogs in action. 42-0 in favor of the Odessa Bulldogs is the first conference game for the Clinton Cardinals. And we're in east side and west side. Clinton, of course, in the Missouri River Valley West. First season, and so are the Odessa Bulldogs. They not only won conference last year, they won state last year. They were dominating.
15-0, and as we said, didn't really break a sweat in too many games. I think they may have had a couple games in the playoffs that were within 2 touchdowns, but everything else, they blew people out by 3 or 4 touchdowns. But just to give you some quick numbers here at half, Doug, we want to thank one of the Clinton coaches. Have Spear down for 144 yards passing, 31 yards rushing in the first half for Jace Olson, and then 69 yards receiving for Matt Bulkey. So he leads the team in receiving. Sales also had 50 yards receiving as well, and King finished with 50. So, across the board, those are pretty balanced numbers, and I think, Logan kind of found his rhythm there a little bit in the second quarter. You had some positive drives. You had consistent plays, on a few of those drives. Just got caught in there around that 20-yard line. That's where those windows tighten up a little bit, and that's what happened, and you ended up stalling out. But, I like the way that Clinton's continued to progress offensively. Again, we said it last week. This is going to be a week-by-week thing. I think you made a great point at the top. You said, look, the fact is, he's playing with new kids.
Yeah.
And you look at a guy like Logan Spear, and you got to come in here and play with timing, and it's a timing-first offense with all the passing they want to do and the spread formations. That just takes time, and you've got to get that in practice during a week and then try to translate team. That won state last year, 15-0, that returning guy. So, you don't want to keep going back on that, but that's just the way it is. And you're playing a high-caliber football team here tonight anyway, where you can't afford to make any mistakes, and you're a team that's trying to grow. So it makes it tough.
And not only that, but we were talking about, and it's not to make an excuse, but at the same time, we're talking about Spear and the fact that he has had months to work with these guys, whereas everybody else has had years to work and develop the timing and develop, even away from football, off the field, and so forth. So not much to tell you about Clinton scoring. Of course, Odessa with 42, and that is going to be where we're at right now. It is halftime from Odessa High School, 42 for the Odessa Bulldogs, 0 for the Clinton Cardinals. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back with Jason Abner, Athletic Director from Clinton High School. You're listening to High School Football Action on KD.
I feel like wishful thinking, pick myself up, move to the beat of my heart and my soul, sing a song for the dreamer. I say run, let it shine that glory. We are Remax and we are here.
Sponsored by Oak Star Bank.
Takes a lot of people to make that mortgage work.
Right.
And I think that's what your hometown bank can do for you, because we're here to help them.
Well, and you just hit the nail on the head, Andy. It's the hometown bank.
Call Andy. He'll help you finance your dream home with a mortgage from Hawthorne Bank. NMLS MLO number 450138. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back to Odessa High School. Here it is halftime. With us, the busiest man at Clinton High School, that is Jason Abner, the athletic director. And man, This season has got to be a nightmare for you.
Well, it has its challenges for sure, but at this point we are we're moving forward. We're doing everything we can to continue to move forward. Our kids and our staff have done an outstanding job. And I said it before, we're just going to move forward until somebody tells us we can't. And our kids are excited. We've had a great week of school. We started on Monday. We're doing what we can to make sure our kids get to continue to play and perform.
Well, and your biggest problem has got to be we see tonight. I was watching the news, and the Belton and Ruskin game was canceled. Yeah. They didn't say it was because of any positives, but you kind of read between the lines. You go into a Friday, you never know for sure if they're going to if you're going to get a phone call and saying, "Hey, man, we can't play tonight."
Yeah, and not only Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. At this point, we are, we're working day to day in some aspects, and like I said, doing everything we can, but we can't control what happens to others. We've been fortunate right now; we haven't had to make that phone call. We've had to make some difficult decisions in the right direction with our cases and lack thereof, for that matter. But it's happening throughout the state, and we can't control that. So it will happen. It happened last night to volleyball. It's going to happen again to some sport. I just don't know who and when.
And so when that happens, like you were talking about volleyball, when that happens, so do they want to reschedule that, or how does that work?
We tried, and it's kind of got to go both ways. We have to have an open date. They have to have an open date, and then the open date has to work for both teams. I am not a believer in squeezing in a game, especially late in the season, just to get a game in. Later in the season, at that point, we not a fan of. So right now, we have not found a date for that volleyball game versus Bolivar that works. We do have a hole in our schedule, the 27th and 28th of September. They played both those days. Well, we can't play Wednesday because they also play Thursday, so that would give them 4 days in a row to play.
Sure.
So they can't do that. We're not going to ask them to do that. So right now, we kind of left it as we're going to watch the schedules, and if we have other teams drop and they have other teams drop and we need a game, then we'll end up playing later in the season.
We were talking last week, the word for the season is new coach, new conference, new quarterback, new everything, new way of playing. How does this affect you with what you do and everything as far as the conference, the new conference?
Yeah.
How are they to work with, and do they help on schedules and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, these guys and girls are awesome to work for or work with. They put, we sat down and we had 3 different meetings last year in the fall, and we put together our fall conference, our fall schedules, our winter schedules, and then our spring schedules. So that takes anywhere from half to, probably 60 to 70% of our schedules in some sports. Very little in other sports. Cross country, we just have the one cross country MRVC meet, and then we fill it with other meets. But they're great to work with. In a lot of aspects, it makes my job easier because when we were, independent, I had to go out and find all those games to fill up our schedule. And, if there's a team, a team is not going to take away a conference game to play us. You know what I mean? So we have to find the hole that's in their schedule that works for us. So we're just excited to be part of something, be part of a group, a good, solid group. The MRVC has been around a long time. There's a lot of schools in it, the East and West, and we get some help from the East as well, scheduling. So we're just really excited about the way we're moving in the future.
And, you picked up probably some athletics. Of course, Clinton, great with athletics and activities and so forth. With the new conference, there's surely got to be some new twist on how to do things. And have you learned anything that you didn't know before?
I think at this point, everything, not everything, a lot of things we do are new. handing out tickets to come to a game, making sure everybody has their face coverings on. When we have meetings right now, the MRVC, that's what our focus is. It's unfortunate because I would love to be able to focus on the traditions and the tournaments that we are able to be part of. And, in the beginning of the year, we have a large conference Saturday morning, so come out and watch them. Tennis, they're 2-1. Had two good wins, and then fell to Harrisonville last night. JV football was competitive last Monday at California. It came down to the last play. We're excited to see what they can do Monday night against Odessa. I think I've hit on everybody. We're still able to have our band perform. They put a performance on last Friday night, and they're practicing every day, so they're doing everything they can to follow the guidelines and social distance and make sure those kids get to perform. So really has been a really good week at Clinton High School. Our kids are doing everything we ask them to do in the classroom so we can continue to come to school.
Well, we're glad to hear that. And, of course, next week, right here, a foe that you haven't got to take on for a long time, and that's the Holden Eagles.
Yeah. Except I was trying to think. I know it's maybe my second year here, so about 8 or 9 years ago, I think we went up there and played. But it's been a while, so it'll be good to get back to Holden and see some of the folks there and be able to play some football.
Well, any last comments for the citizens and the fans of Clinton?
Yeah, I know things are going to look a little differently this year. Just be patient with us. Please tune into KDKD and watch the webcast on Friday night. And we know it's limited; not everybody can come. And just be patient, support our kids any way you can. We appreciate it.
Well, Jason, we appreciate your time, and I know you're a busy man. But, man, you are the busiest man at Clinton High School. So, folks, we are glad to have him along. Jason Abner, the athletic director from Clinton Cardinals. We're going to be back in 2. You're listening to Clinton Cardinal High School football action on KDKD.
Banks Motors is growing again. Now with over 60 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and like family.
Tune in to hear what's going on in West Central Missouri with community news from Radford Media Group, Monday through Friday, right here on your favorite radio station and 24/7 online at mykdkd.com. Community news from Radford Media Group. We're community first.
When you hit that critical time of life, considering what will happen with your estate when you're not here, we have more than 30 years of experience helping others make those decisions. When we Legacy Group, the key word is legacy. It's all about taking care of you and getting it to the next generation the best way possible. Call us at 660-885-8835.
We just got in a 2017 F-150, that maroon one there, ruby red to be exact. Crew cab Lariat four-wheel drive. It's got 50,000 miles on it. We sold it brand new to a lady right up here at Blairstown, Missouri, and she come back and got another one just like it.
Craig Smith for Lincoln Mercury. Our people treat you right.
Atkins Printing would like the opportunity to enhance your business with their printing expertise. Atkins Printing is ready to take on all your printing projects, from letterhead and business cards to envelopes and flyers. If you can put it on paper, Atkins Printing can do it. Bring your next job to Atkins Printing, your new partner in business printing. Just give them a call at 885-9. Atkins Printing, proud sponsors of Clinton Cardinal Sports.
Welcome back to Odessa, Missouri. It is halftime here with a minute before the halftime. We're getting ready to bring you back action. Both teams back on the field. And we're going to have about 4 minutes before we'll get things going. So it is 42-0 in favor of the Odessa Bulldogs. As we were talking earlier, it is the state defending champion 3A Odessa Bulldogs here as they come back. And, man, they are tough here at home especially. Great job by Logan Spear as they started to develop a situation there at the end of that first half where they started to move the ball. And small, short passes down the field, get it in the hands of the running backs, let them do their job. And it was starting to work as they were moving the ball down the field. But, of course, a stiffened-up Odessa Bulldog defense came in. And so we are getting ready to get back underway here tonight. Thank you very much to Banks Motors for the Banks Motors halftime show. Glad to have Jason Abner on, the busiest man at Clinton High School. In action, don't forget our great sponsors, Mike Keith Insurance, Banks Motors, Oak Star Bank, Integrity Floors, Hawthorne Bank, Doty Legacy Group, Greg Smith Ford, Lincoln Mercury, Atkins Printing, Lincoln Community Care Center, Troby, Maytag Home Appliances, Heartland Hospice, Truman, Lake Manor, and, of course, our new sponsor, Golden Valley Medical Hospital, all with the 2020 season right here with the Clinton Cardinals. And
as Clinton gets a touchdown saving tackle on that kickoff return, but good effort staying with that. Who was that, Doug? It ran him
20?
down. Is that 23 or 20?
I think both of them, but the 20
there,
I think was the one that got him.
As he released that ball.
Yeah.
5-yarder, takes it back to about the 44 for the Bulldogs on the right. Series of the second half, but Bayless back there at quarterback. ball placed down in the middle of the field. And Clinton going to load up the box here. A 4-man front, and maybe it's anything. Odessa on top, back in 60 after this on KDKD.
During times like these, people are facing hardships in their day-to-day lives. It has become difficult for seniors to get the
Watching us here on the live stream tonight, Clay Radford on the camera, bringing you the coverage, and we are glad to do it. We know a lot of folks, of course, with the circumstances, maybe staying home, and so we are very that allowed them to kick on the Clinton half of the field, and it's at the 30 after it was down there by one of the up men for the Cardinals. So Clinton will start here, first series. Is running stops only on timeouts as they're going to hand it to Jace. This time angles right, looking for the cutback lane, but he's cut down. That is a great tackle, and that's one of those where you just got to tip your cap there as number 30, is that 35? If he shows his number, there he is, 35 on the stop. That's Bryce Palmer. That's just a great play. You take away that cutback lane, you break down in perfect position to make that tackle, and that's just textbook job.
That's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Cardinals. Hey, while we got the chance, we need to thank CJ back in the studio.
CY.
Or CY,
yeah, CY.
I'm sorry, yeah. CY.
CY.
I knew that.
Yeah. CY is the man back there keeping us on the air as we have a snap here to Spear, looking to step up in the pocket, and he's going to be sacked as they cave it in. So 3rd sack tonight for the Bulldogs. Just nowhere to step up in the pocket that time for Logan. And that'll be a loss back to the 20-yard line. So that'll bring up a 4th down and long, and Clinton will punt. And that's one of those where you just got to pick up that pressure. They had 3 coming up the middle. Those were 3 down linemen, too. They didn't send a blitz and just got through the middle. So 4th and 19, 6th punt tonight for Clinton. At the 40. As he takes it to the Clinton 45. 2nd and 7 coming up. And over 300 yards tonight of total offense for Odessa, Doug, and over half of that has been on the ground. So they've really been pounding the football all night. But they've had so many long runs. They've had the 60, 70-yard variety runs tonight. As here's a pass incomplete from Bayless trying to go out in the flat.
Looked like the 67 of Owen Detterman kind of jumped and got just a fingertip on that ball, just a touch.
Coming up on 4 minutes left in the third. 3rd down and 7 for Odessa. Tight end left side of the line here. Twins left as well. And handoff coming back up the middle, and a huge hole to run through again over the 40, breaking a tackle to 35 to the 30 and over the 25, and finally Radabay McLaughlin ripping off another big chunk play.
Jace Worsig, the junior, on the stop and wrestled him out of bounds. Great tackle.
The clock keeps rolling, though, even though he was out of bounds, and they will set the chains down here at 1st and 10 at 24. So at about the 19, we'll check on the flag. It's going to be a legal shift, though, on Odessa, so it's coming back. So they will mark that one off, and it will negate what was going to be a short gain anyway for Carpenter. But we saw Heitman in the first half. He had some big yards, but he's got several of his varsity guys out of the game again at first half that they had. That was Westerhold, and also Sanders had a couple tackles and also had the block punt. So 1st and 15 as they roll right. Looking downfield is Bayless, scampering away by keeper, and it is enough for the 1st down.
He knew where he had to get to, and that's where he got.
He was determined on that one for sure. So new set for the Bulldogs with about 2:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. And they are a perfect 4 of 4 here in the red zone tonight. So every time they've been down this close, they've punched in the end zone. They're going to have wide receivers split out to each side. Quarterback here, the number 67 in there, Owen Detterman.
Yep, Detterman again.
Yeah, we have called his name a few times tonight on a defensive line up there, defensive tackle for the Cardinals.
Big kid, sophomore.
Second down and 11, ball at the 15. Pistol set, and they're going to hand off left side. Westerholt, or McClellan, I should say, fighting for the 10, and they shove him back, but he did have some forward progress established.
About the 11-yard line is where they're going to mark.
And this should set up a third down here in short, and then we'll give him the 11. So third down, 7, coming up on a minute left here in the third. The coach over here at Clinton the last few years, of course, spent a lot of time down at Osceola, but he's now up there at the helm of the marksman and got himself a win in his first week up there. 45 seconds to go now, 3rd and 7 from the 12. They get the snap off. Bayless up the middle, and going to be well short of the first, short of the 5-yard line as they bring him down. Nice play made. If they can get this off, down to 19, 18, 17. They're definitely not in any hurry here, Doug.
Yeah.
Down to 10 here. He should be able to get this off. So 4th down and 3 from the 7. They'll kick the chip shot field goal. Snap is down with 4 seconds, and it's on the way. Oh, and it hits the upright and bounces out. Oh, mercy. Well, that's why you don't want to take that much time. That ball looked like it was good, but bounced out of there. So the score remains 48-0, and it would have counted just barely, though, had it gone in.
Absolutely.
After 3 here at Odessa, 48-0, Bulldogs on top. Doug Neff will finish us up here when we come back in 60 after this on KDKD.
If you're looking for great opportunities to volunteer and serve, consider Heartland Hospice. Volunteering is a great way to be involved and provide help to others in need. Call for details 660-679-4300. With Heartland Hospice, opportunities abound, including helping with office support tasks, staying with patients so family can run errands or get rest, and keeping vigilance with patients as needed, as well as other opportunities. Volunteering also looks great on college applications and resumes and keeps you involved in your communities. Call the office in Butler today for more information, 660-679-4300.
If you or a loved one is in need of skilled care, choose Truman Lake Manor. We're locally owned. Our daily rates are up to 50% less than what some of the big corporate care facilities charge, but our level of care is second to none. Residents love our outdoor courtyard, daily activities, and experienced staff that become far more than just caregivers. Truman Lake Manor, affordable living with people who care. 600 East 7th Street, Lowry City, Missouri, 417-644-2248.
Welcome back to Odessa, Missouri, and 4th and final quarter. Getting ready to kick off here. It is the Cardinals with the ball. And the 17, I believe, with the ball. That is Jake Wersig. Wersig up and around, gets to about the 25-yard line where he is brought down. Going to be second down. Second down and 5 for the Cardinals. Got to get to the 30. 4th and final quarter coming this way. Spencer, well, the Odessa Bulldogs are what we thought they were going to be, aren't they?
I think so. I really think they're a team that has the potential to win the majority of their games and win this conference. And, again, maybe not quite the punch they had last year offensively, but still pretty dominant.
Jace Olsen stopped behind the line. It gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so a loss of 5, going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Cardinals.
And Clinton has just been in that spot tonight where they've been fighting against the sticks, as they say. You know, you're always having to fight against extra yards. You know, they've had some penalties tonight, so that's cost them some extra yards. They've had, a few plays for loss. Again, move the ball a little bit tonight. I feel like they've sustained drives a little better than they did last week. In other words, 5 or 6 plays down the field. But, just haven't cracked the red zone yet tonight.
Well, I think they're doing a great job and heading that way. Spear downfield, incomplete, hit the ground, but almost picked off as the defender over the top and just picked the pocket, more or less, of the Cardinal receiver.
Yeah, and they had 4 or 5 guys down there for Odessa trying to lobby the official there, trying to say, hey, we had that pick, but it was the right call. We could see from up here that ball clearly hit, so you didn't need to call New York and review that one. That's for sure. As best they tried to lobby for it, but
it's going to be 4th down for the Cardinals, 4th and 9 as they set to kick. Bloom, I believe, in. Snap back. Here comes a host of Bulldogs.
And you could see there that Clinton had those 3 extra guys up for a little added protection on that punt after they've had a 1 block tonight and a couple near blocks.
Brent Gray on the kick. Correction gets it to about the 47-yard line. It's down there by the Cardinals. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Odessa Bulldogs as they take over on downs. We're going to leave it right here. Well, Spencer, we were talking about the Clinton Cardinals, and actually I improved Clinton Cardinal team from last week. They really have done better. Again, I think the more and more that Spear and the guys get to play with each other, the better off they're going to be.
Yeah, I think so. The thing tonight, again, kind of like last week, is the start. That's going to be the thing they'll have to work on, is getting off to a good start, not getting down, 3-4 scores early will be key next week.
Run by the Bulldogs across the 41st down, brought down on the play. Looks like the 33 for the Cardinals. On the stop, that is Gage Crispy.
But the thing tonight is you feel like you want to come out with some points. You felt like last week you got those 20 up on the board. That was huge for the confidence, so there's still time left. It will be tougher, though, with the running clock and depending on what the time of possession is here for Odessa. But you'd like to come out with at least 1 score tonight.
Well, I think it's a matter of pride, too, for the Bulldogs.
Exactly.
They're wanting to shoot the shutout, especially after last week.
Yes.
And a tough Southern Boone game that they come out on the positive end of. But, man, they were tested.
They sure were. It was a hard-fought game, and of course, Coach Lefevre was telling us before the game he watched that on film, and it was a good, hard-fought game, he said. So they kind of had that physical first match in that one, and they let Southern Boone put 20 on them. So you know that their defense wants to preserve the shutout big time here.
Hand off to the 17. Gets across the 35 to about the 32-yard line.
But the thing that impresses me, Doug, about a program like Odessa and many programs like them that are kind of in that cycle where they're in dominance, you talk about the Webb Cities and those types of programs that year in and year out are good. I'm not saying they're Webb City level, but they are in a spot now where they're feeling that is they have depth.
Yes.
All those programs, you look at them top to bottom, and they've got that depth. And you can see right now he's got all those guys over on the bench. This is a whole new JV lineup, and that's what it takes to get a program going is a lot of kids and guys that can come in and step in and play varsity on both sides.
Absolutely, and we were talking about the fact that they graduated 19 players, but brought back 8 seniors.
Yep.
But they had an incredible amount of juniors in the class.
Yeah, that just speaks volumes right there. I mean, that's exactly what you want, and the good programs have that ability to replenish, and, it's just what it takes. And it takes a lot of work, and that's what Coach Lefevre obviously wants to have happen at Clinton. But, it doesn't always happen overnight, that's for sure.
It is Odessa, a first down now. The quarterback,
Ball's out.
keeper, he's lost the ball. Looking to see, it is going to be Cardinal football. The Clinton Cardinals recover the fumble inside the 5.
And, that's great effort, at this point in the game, Doug, because, at this point, game's coming to an end. But, boy, you love the fight. You love a big shot there being put on that ball carrier and knocks the ball out. So, Coach Lefevre, a well-deserved high five there for the young man coming off the field and knocking that ball out. Worsig, one of the defenders. So that's what you love to see, and that's what it takes at this point in the game because you could have let him go into the end zone there, and he wasn't having any of it.
Absolutely not. I think Clay Radford is also showing his enthusiasm for the Clinton Cardinals.
Hey, Clay is a Clinton graduate, so
we expect that out of him.
We have to, we expect that out of Clay. So, but Clay had to buy him a Clinton shirt tonight. He said he had to get his Clinton apparel back in order. So
Steve still hasn't got him trained totally here. So
right, we got to get on Steve. Say, hey, got to say, take care of this man. Get him some Cardinal apparel.
Timeout on the field. Called by Odessa, I believe. We're going to keep it right here. Of course, we were talking about some great people, and how about our great sponsors helping us to bring all the action right here. Mike Heath Insurance. For all your insurance needs, Mike Heath is there. Bank Motors. And if you're in the need for a new or used vehicle, Bank Motors is the place to go. Oak Star Bank, and for all your loan needs. Now, if you need a loan on that vehicle, that's Oak Star Bank. They'll fix you right up. Integrity Floors, glad to have them along. In fact, my wife has been in there. It makes me nervous when she goes in there. So she does in there, and so, I think we're looking at some carpeting or something. Hawthorne Bank. I'm going to have to work a few more games, Clay. So Hawthorne Bank, we're glad to have them along. Snap is away. Cardinals with the ball. Comes across the 5 to about the 8 as they are brought down. Looking is Jace King, the 15, your ball carrier, as he gets across the 5 to about the 7. So it's going to be second down. We're going to call it about 6 for the first. Also, glad to have Greg Smith, Ford Lincoln Mercury, for all your Ford Lincoln Mercury needs, parts, sales, or service. It is Greg Smith. Atkins Printing, another one of our great sponsors for the 2020 season. Lincoln Community Care Center, we're glad to have them along. And Coach LeFevor's favorite organization. It is the 3 of Jace Olson. Olson brings the ball out, gets near the 10-yard line. He is going to be just shy of the first down. Going to bring up third down. We're going to call it 5. And Troby's Maytag Home Appliance, Heartland Hospice, Truman Lake Manor, and of course our new sponsor we're glad to have along, Golden Valley Medical Hospital, all part of that 2020 season that is Clinton Cardinal Magic. It is third down. They're calling it 6. We're going to call it 5 for the Cardinals. About the 10-yard line is Spear in the shotgun. He has receivers. Here comes the blitz showing by Odessa. He gets the pass away. Oh, in and out of the hands, literally in and out of the hands of the 15 of Jace King.
Well, that was close pass interference, but I think it was probably the right call. It was just maybe a hair early, but he kind of maybe had the back a little bit, but got that arm in front, knocked it down. So a good play defensively for Odessa, but very close to being a shallow over the middle completion. But we'll see if they can get a shot down the field here. But Odessa, they're wanting their first shutout of the year. They really don't want to give one up, and they're fighting hard even though they're well ahead.
Fourth down, Spear with the ball. Here comes the defense. Passes away, incomplete, intended for the 15 of Jace King.
Yeah, that time they had triple coverage, and Logan just forced that one a little bit. That play just wasn't there. They had 3 defenders in kind of a triangle around him. I mean, that's the right idea. I mean, you go up the field, obviously, in that situation and run that post route, but it was covered up. So they're going to take over on downs here, looks like. And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't take a knee here. I think they may just want to kneel this and not try to give any sense that they're trying to run up the score or anything like that. So
well, now,
we'll see.
Missouri River Valley Conference is kind of known for that.
I guess so. But some coaches here probably will take a knee, but we'll see.
Odessa, shotgun, looks in. Takes the snap, hands off.
Yeah, so much for the knee.
Yeah. Bulldog, literally bulldog down.
Yeah.
The 17 of Jake Wersick on the stop. Gets him down to about the 2-yard line, I believe. I'm going to see where they're going to mark it at. I believe they're saying the 1. The band kicking in their 2 cents worth over here on the far end.
They were doing the, I don't know what you call that. It's not the wave, but maybe Clay could help me out. But, side to side, forward, backwards. Is there a name for that? It's the exaggerated wave, I guess.
There you go, yeah.
The new wave, new version of the wave.
Quarterback keeper, touchdown, Odessa.
Yeah, that was a busted play. He fumbled the snap, but again, when you're a yard out, it's easy to take it on in there behind that big old center. So
yeah, he almost lost the handle on it, I believe.
Yeah.
48-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I liked my score better. Kick is up. It is good. 55 now for the Odessa Bulldogs. I was trying to, benefit of the doubt there. So it is 55-0 with a minute left. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Your list of high school football action on KDKD.
Do you need medical care now? Golden Valley Memorial Healthcare understands that minor illnesses and injuries can happen at any time. Visit one of our 4 walk-in clinics in Clinton, Osceola, Warsaw, or Windsor to receive the care you need when you need it. No appointment necessary. Golden Valley Memorial Healthcare, dedicated to providing you the golden standard of care.
Welcome back to Odessa. I don't know why I keep wanting us to go to Concordia. Welcome back to Odessa. The Odessa Bulldogs in the lead, 55-0. We're under a minute left to play in the football game. As we get ready to come here, it is going to be the Odessa Bulldogs set to kick off to the Cardinals. Deep men, the 15 of Jace King back for the Cardinals. And it looks like the 18 of Bullock. And it is the Bulldogs set to kick. Kick is up, and it is going to be the 15 of King. King with the ball. Flags on the play. Holding will be the call against the Cardinals. Get up to the 28-yard line, but flag on the play. I believe that's going to go against Clinton.
Yeah, that's the other thing tonight, Doug, is the penalties. I think that's too many for Coach Lefeber's liking. And you've seen kind of some of the worst variety. We've seen some chop blocks. We've seen a couple personal fouls. You've had a few on the special teams. So, you definitely want to clean that up a little bit and in practice and get disciplined, because that does nothing but hurt you. Even though you're behind like this, in close games, you got to be able to be in spots where you're not hurting yourself and make it as easy as possible for you to move the football down the field. And they've had a few drives where it did hurt them there. They had a couple positive drives in the first half. It stalled out a little bit because of penalties.
Well, I believe they're frustration penalties, too, as they come in. Spear in the shotgun takes the snap. He looks downfield. He's got a receiver open. It is a 15 downfield. That is Jace King. As they get into the Bulldog territory, Bulldogs taking their time getting back as clock has stopped. Timeout called by the Cardinal.
That's a beautiful throw by Spear. Had him perfectly in stride. And that's where he was able to get even more yards because of that ball was out in front of him a little bit and got it to him in stride. And, boy, that's a nice completion. And Jace, again, he shows flashes of the ability to be a really solid receiver for this Clinton team, and got behind the coverage with ease and just a nice pass out to him.
It was Logan Spear, the quarterback, finally showing us that big arm as he put it right where he needed to, where the defender couldn't get it, and the only man that could was his receiver, and he caught him in stride. And Jace King, with the speed, just hauled it in, and a great play as they are in Bulldog territory. Snap is away, shotgun once again. Spear looks downfield. Sideline, no good, intended for the 28. That is Cameron Mertz.
Yeah, Clinton, they're trying to make him work for this shutout. They're trying to hurry up to the line, go no huddle. Down to 11, probably time for one more play here. Oh, and a false start, I think. Somebody was ready to catch that touchdown there, and slot left started early.
Motion.
Yeah. So that will stop the clock, give you about 6.5 left, and chance for another shot down the field here maybe.
6.5 seconds left to go in this ball game. Can Odessa hold the shutout, or will the Cardinals get this play into the end zone?
Running 5 fly patterns here.
Oh! Ball slapped away. Intended for, is that the 19?
Yep.
The 19 of Peyton Sales.
Yeah, they literally just ran 4 straight flies up the field, just a straight go deep route, and I think Peyton kind of almost thought he was interfered.
Feel like wishful thinking, pick myself up, move to the beat of my heart and my soul, sing a song song for the dreamer. Oh, I say run, let it shine that glory.
We are RE/MAX, and we are